Hi, everyone. This new transit again highlights how incredibly intuitive we all are. The last transit had the 4323, which is right here, the ajna in the throat, in the knowing circuit, was lit up by the sun and the earth. And then during this transit, we have two more gates in the knowing circuit that are lit up. So I'm excited to share this with you. Let's go ahead and get started. So today, on Saturday the 16th, the sun moves into the gate 14 and the earth moves into the gate 8. And before we dive into the specifics of those two different gates, I want to share a little bit more with you about the knowing circuit. The knowing circuit is the largest subcircuit in the chart. It's massive. You can see from this picture that almost every center is involved. The only center that is not touched by the knowing circuit is the will center. Everything else it has the knowing circuit running through it. And you can see that we have both the central channel being lit up by the knowing circuit, right? Goes all the way from the root to the sacral, to the G, to the throat, to the ajna, to the head, the central channel, right? But then we also have the sides of the body connected here as well through the emotional solar plexus and the spleen. So we have a complete connection here with this knowing circuit. So the knowing circuit does not exist in any other system that I know of, right? We have information about the left brain energy. We have information about the right brain energy, but knowing it's its own animal. And I love the way that human design really maps this for us. So the knowing circuit, it's individual circuitry. Individual circuitry is the largest of all of the main circuits. And it is highly intuitive. It is here to be different. It's here to bring change. It does not fit in. And it's where the evolutionary impulse of humanity runs through the human design chart, is through individual circuitry. And then the knowing circuit is really the main, the circuit inside of individual circuitry. And people who have a lot of this defined in their chart are really way showers. They have a sense of wanting to bring forward new possibilities, new ideas, new ways of thinking of things, new perspectives. And some of them are really helpful. Some of them are really apt, and some of them maybe not so much. So we need to be able to discern what's coming in through that knowing circuit and through that individual circuitry to see, is this actually useful for us? Because sometimes we'll receive downloads or we'll see perspectives or insights that may or may not be super relevant for now, or may or may not be super relevant for you. So there's always discernment that is needed when we're working with our intuition and we're working with the downloads that we're getting through the knowing circuit. I say that because in the human design system, the three major circuits show us really about the evolutionary process. So individual circuitry is how new things come in, right? It's where that evolutionary impulse comes in. It's mutative, right? It's bringing in change. It's bringing in new possibilities. But we don't always know if those new possibilities are helpful for us, right? It's not until that the new possibilities that we have are adopted in a tribal way by small groups of people to try it out. Does this work? Does that work? How do we modify it? How do we make it better? How do we bring it together with other epiphanies that we have? What do we need to discard and what do we need to emphasize, right? And then it's not until it's really brought out into collective circuitry where it's spread and spread and spread because it's proven that it's really helpful. So just as an example, right? I think about myself as a kid, right? Watching Star Trek, and they had their what were they? Communicators. That's what they called them. Communicators, right? They look like flip phones, right? Well, now guess what? We have this, right? Now we have smartphones, or some people still have flip phones, but this is a smartphone. It's something that was suggested. We had an idea about it. Somebody brought this in and went, wow, wouldn't it be cool if we had a phone that we could just like have in our hands and we didn't need to be plugged in somewhere? That's an idea, right? Probably came in through the knowing circuit, but it wasn't until it was tested and developed and then adopted that it became a norm. So that's how, according to the human design system, these things work out. So when we do receive these really breakthrough things through that knowing circuit, we want to be able to hold it with some reverence and honor it, because it has the potential to be something that's really, really transformative for all of us. But you also want to give it some time so that you're paying attention to, is this really something that we want to pay more attention to? Or is it something that either the time isn't right, or you're not the right person to bring it through? So that's something you always want to be thinking about. Okay, so let's take a look at the Earth in the gate 8. I love the gate 8. The gate 8 is on the throat. It's right here. And again, it's part of that knowing circuit. And it's known as contribution in traditional human design or fulfillment in quantum human design. And its mate on the G center is purpose. And so this channel really helps bring our inspiration from the identity center, from the center of love, and the direction in our life, bringing it out into the throat to be able to be expressed. Now, right now, we just have that 8 lit up. And so it's highlighting that part of the channel, which is saying, how are you contributing, right? The purpose is something that is really more a felt sense for a person, right? I like to think of this as we have this feeling of being on purpose. It gives us energy. It makes us enthusiastic. And then we contribute out into the world, right? Because the throat is about manifestation and activation and expression. So it's really about bringing it out into the world. So that 8 here is like, what are you contributing, right? And is the way that you're contributing fulfilling to you? I think we're in this really potent time, and I'll come to this a little bit in a moment, having to do with Pluto and Aquarius and this big change that we're going through. And you might be starting to feel like, okay, so I'm contributing, but I'm not really so fulfilled with how I'm contributing. And it may be that as we're moving into this new Aquarian age, that you'll be taking another look at this and wondering, is this really the right thing for me to be doing? Or do I need to make a change? So don't be surprised if you start to feel that and you start to be looking, because our world is in a very accelerated, dynamic, and potent time of change. And so you may be finding that too. And one of your keystones is going to be, is my contribution fulfilling to me? If you're a generator, is it making me feel satisfied, right? Am I getting this sense of satisfaction, right? But really that sense of being on purpose. And the Earth is lighting it up, right? So it's saying, ground yourself in an understanding of how you're showing up in the world and how you're contributing, and taking a look at how are you experiencing that? And is it at the highest frequency? Or are you in this situation where you've been giving away your power to external organizations, companies, governmental bodies, whatever it might be, giving your power away that way and contributing in some sense, to the company that you work for, the organization that you work for, but you're not really feeling fulfilled, right? Then you might want to make a change. And this is a really good time to be doing that. So with this foundation, of contribution and fulfillment, the sun is then lighting up the gate 14. Now, the gate 14 is an awesome gate. So it's on the sacral, and it's known as power skills in traditional human design, or creation in quantum human design. It's a lucky gate. People who have this defined in their chart, if they are in a high frequency, tend to have a lot of luck coming their way. And it's also really great for being able to attract abundance and money for your contribution, for your service, for what you're putting out into the world. So this is a really beautiful alignment where we're taking a look at what our contribution is, right? And then we're going to shine it out into the world. We want to be able to be giving that gift, right? Giving your power skills, if you will, giving your creations out into the world. And when you focus on the service that is providing, and that service feels really right to you, right in your body, feels really right to you, then you will be receiving through the principle of reciprocity, right? You'll be receiving abundance coming your way. And abundance can come in many different ways. It can come in the form of money. It can come in the form of support, people in your life, or it could be opportunities that come your way. There's lots of different ways that abundance can be coming to you. But you do want to make sure that your contribution is one that you feel really good about, right? Because you can just kind of be habitual habitually putting out your energy through your contribution. But if it's not really feeling good to you, then are you really doing the service that you came here to do? Are you really doing that? So this is a good time to be taking a look at that and making some adjustments if you need to. And just remember, this is all intuitive energy. It's not logical. It's not rational. It's not reasonable. You're not going to figure it out with your mind. You need to activate your intuition and activate your creativity so that you can be receiving the guidance that you need from the inside. And that is one of the most important features that we have right now as we're moving into the age of Aquarius. And it's also what human design ultimately always encourages us to do, which is to tune into our own inner guidance. This is such an important topic that we're spending a whole month, actually even 2 months in the Sovereign Sisterhood, really looking at how do we grow our relationship to that inner guidance, to our intuition. And we've got this whole knowing circuit that is helping us to do that. And so, my suggestion to you is to be fueling that for yourself, because your inner guidance is going to lead you to the place that is right for you, rather than you trying to fit into something that some outer force told you is right for you. Ideally, they go together, but they don't always. So double check that one. I want to note this channel that is being lit up just for a brief period of time, because Venus moved into the gate 58 yesterday on November 15th, and it's going to be there through the 19th. Now, the South Node has already been in the gate 18 for some time now, a couple months, and it's going to be there until about mid-December. But Venus is coming in, helping to create that whole channel. And so for those of you who have an open spleen or an open root, you're going to have those two centers defined during this transit. And this particular channel, the 1858, is in the logic circuit or the understanding circuit or the pattern circuit. And it has to do with our ability to be able to see large patterns and to see if they're in alignment or not. So the 18 is known as the gate of correction or realignment. It can have a bit of an edge to it, so we want to watch out for that. We don't want to be overly correcting of other people, although we do like to bring things into alignment. And like I said, we've been having this energy in our field for quite some time. So if you've already been feeling that, there is a reason the South Node has been lighting it up. But what I love here is Venus, right, who is our values in human design, and also the divine feminine. Venus is lighting up the gate of joy and joy of mastery. And so this is where, when we bring things back into alignment, when we bring order to the pattern, then we experience joy. We're like, it's all working. I have a friend who has a gate 18 lit up in her chart. And when she loves to do her budgets, I hate doing budgets. She loves doing her budgets. And when it's all aligned, she gets excited. Like sometimes I'll talk to her to be like, I just did my budget. I feel so good. Right? So if that's you, then, good for you. But all of us are going to have this energy during these few days. So my suggestion for you is to take a look. Are there things in your life that need to come into alignment? And are there places where if you bring them back into alignment, you're going to get a boost. You're going to get some energy. So this is a great time through the 19th when you can be focusing on that. And the 19th. So this is a big event many of us have been waiting for. On November 19th, on Tuesday, Pluto is going to move fully into Aquarius for the next 20 years. This whole year, we've been going through Pluto moving into Aquarius and moving back into Capricorn, and now it's going to move into Aquarius, hearkening one aspect of the age of Aquarius. And so this is a cause for celebration, in my view. And it's also disruptive. Pluto is a disruptive force. Pluto is here to help us burn away the dross of what we no longer need. And he can be quite forceful with it. I mean, Pluto is the god of the underworld in astrology, right? Pluto's the one that if we're not paying attention to what it is he wants us to pay attention to, he'll just drag us down, burn it all down, this phoenix energy, right? Burn it all down so it can get recreated in a new form. And so this is something like for us to all to be looking at, like, what attachments do we have to the old order, the Capricornian order, right? What attachments do we have to that? And what do we need to let go of? How can we be in charge of burning down what we no longer need rather than having it come from the outside in a kind of Plutonian initiation way? How can we grab a hold of that and be more in command of us going through this transition? Those are big questions, and they're ones that I'm continuing to ponder and posing to you. And this is what we'll be diving into in the Aquarian activation and initiation that is happening November 19th through 21st. So this is a 3-day experience that I am offering to you as a member of my community. You do have to register for it, but it is free. So the link will be at the end of the video, and it'll be down in the description. I have a really great group of people who are already coming together for this. And we're going to meet for 3 days, and we're going to be diving into how do we gain command in this particular moment? What is it that is ours to do? How can we integrate with or understand what's going on in the collective, but then also really build our personal sovereignty, which is one of the things that Aquarius is all about, but to do it in the context of community, right? Because it's not the sovereignty of individualism where we can basically do whatever we want. It's more about how do we grow our power within so that we are fully mature beings, and then we can be in the world with other sovereign beings, and we can create communities with our soul tribe. So if that interests you, I encourage you to come and join us. And we will have an exclusive space inside of the Becoming Sovereign Quantum Retreat Center. For those of you who are already a member of that, you'll be able to find that easily. If not, we'll welcome you in. It's free to join the that larger community that we have. And you can come in and check it out. And that's where all the replays will be. There's going to be extra content and so on. So this will be a great way for us to come together and to really have intentions for what it is that we're creating as we move into this Plutarian Aquarian age, and also what it means for us individually as we build our sovereignty and we build our communities. So I hope that I will see you next week. I would love to be able to connect with you, get to meet you, get to know you a little bit, and for us to be really fueling and fostering this community. Okay. Many blessings. Much love. Bye for now.